Whoops. That.
Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Tuesday, December 29, 2020. Yes, we are winding down the year. Crypto Jack coming live yet again for another Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Joined as always, two of our analysts, Alex and Jason. How you guys doing today?
Oh, it's just a beautiful last few days of 2020. Couldn't imagine a better year, right?
Yeah.
It's been a wild one. There's no doubt about it. A very exciting year to date. Certainly one for the history books. Going to take a quick look at what's happening in the markets today. It seems like Bitcoin remains suspended up here in the 26,589. Not bad. Bit of a recovery from today's dip into the 25-ish. How low did we go? 25.8 overnight. Yeah, 25.8 overnight.
Yeah.
I see
That actually finally stopped us out of our Bitcoin trade, which was we hit take profits 1 and 2 on it.
Oh,
so
brilliant.
our stop was sitting at take profit 1, which got nicked. It was 26,100 was the stop. So we're out of Bitcoin right
Beautiful.
now.
A 6% trade on Bitcoin is nothing to scoff at.
Definitely. Nice little sweep of two take
Bitcoin's
profits
been
there.
so volatile. It's just a 6% happened just like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things to where you're like, it's making it easy on you. You feel like a genius, but at the same time, you're like, well, thank you, Bitcoin, making this easy on me.
Yeah, brilliant work, guys. You got another trade on the books at CC. Another successful trade, I should say. All right, taking a quick look at crypto bubbles. Yeah, mostly a swimming sea of red here. One outlier, I guess, here would be this. What is this precisely? DSD, Dynamic Set Dollar. First I'm hearing of it. Potentially a pump and dump, no name coin, but up 102%. Otherwise, everything else seems to be down fat, almost 2 digits, 10%, or 10% kind of down across the board. Some of the bigger gainers from last week, like GRT, down almost 15%. XRP hammered down another 20% today, it seems. But I do think we had a.
What's an interesting outlier is ADA.
Yeah, ADA up 7%. Not bad.
Yeah, I almost put up an 8 along for the group last night, but it was moving too fast.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
people ask me about that.
Yeah, I tried to put it up. It was like 7:20. It was like 20 minutes after daily candle close, and it had already moved 4%. And then I'm typing it up, and I see it's already moved another percent since I've typed it up. I'm like, man, at this point, if I put the signal out, who's going to be able to catch it before it's moved so far that it doesn't make sense anymore as a signal? So
yeah, that's one thing that I'm learning myself, because it's one thing to take the trade and get into it and then you catch the movement and stuff like that. It's another thing to be looking for these opportunities for other people to have a chance to get in them as well. And yesterday with ADA, people were asking about it, and I'm like, it was just way too far above my baseline to take it with a full risk. And with that, the rate it was moving, I'm like, I'm just going to look at other things at this point. It just, when things move like that, you have to be real with yourself sometimes and not let the FOMO bug get you.
yeah, I ended up just posting just a little short message for anybody who was actively in the members lounge, like someone who was sitting there. It's like, hey, you might want to grab ADA if you can right now, because I can't even post a signal on it.
Indeed. So
there will be plenty more to come.
We'll take a look at ADA on the charts. I do see Mr. Ether just mentioned in the live chat that there's an ADA hub coming to Japan. Indeed, seems like a few of the
What's an ADA hub?
maybe a development hub, some kind of
What's an ADA hub?
Some kind of, I guess, headquarters for ADA promotion or development.
NADA.
But we'll have to figure that out. Okay, with that said, we'll certainly explore ADA on the charts and then some. I also see DOT went up 8%, so it's possible some of these Ethereum competitors are currently trending.
I think DOT's going to keep running, to be honest with you, looking at the chart.
It's a pretty nice chart. We're above pretty significant resistance.
Yeah, and you're even consolidating at this point above the Bollinger Bands. Like, it looks like we're going to take a run on DOT, but we'll see.
Indeed. I got a few news stories lined up for today, quite a few interesting ones. First one, maybe people heard of this. Tesla founder Elon Musk agrees to a crypto-based Mars economy. This is something we're talking about late yesterday in the show, if not very briefly, and in a somewhat joking matter. But remember when I said, we're going to be potentially launching our own little breakaway civilization to the stars.
I've been saying that anyways, man.
just-
If we're gonna be an electronic society and be interplanetary, we're gonna have to have a system that works interplanetary.
Straight up.
I refuse to let Elon Musk choose my cryptocurrency, even on Mars.
Indeed.
Well, then you don't get to get on the rocket to go.
It's just more class warfare. We're going to let billionaires choose our currencies, even on another planet. Get out of here. This is planet number 2, buddy. You're off.
Well,
You're voted off the island.
I think it
I'm
was a
going
more
with Elon.
general. I think it was a more general statement. Somebody tweeted, "Mars economy will run on crypto," and of course Musk replied, "Yes." So, indeed, the future is in the stars. I think, the way the Earth society is going, we're gonna have some. What's that movie with Elysium? We're gonna have some Elysium future ahead of us, where all us crypto barons are gonna escape to the moon or to the Mars and set up shop over there with our giant crypto bags. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. Something to explore.
And our
Beyond that,
computer chips in our
I
head.
can't go to space. Space is too expensive. That costs like what, 15 Satoshi? Get out of here.
beyond that, we have a few other stories today. This is all in the same institutional vein. So we have, I don't know if you heard about this one. The Miami mayor said they're open to exploring the idea of investing 1% of the city's treasury into Bitcoin. You guys heard about this?
Wow, I didn't.
Yo,
Now
Florida-
even municipalities doing it.
I did. Basically, A Pump was tweeting at him, and the guy tweeted back, we'd be open to that possibility.
Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin's hitting the
That's
big
correct.
time when the city treasury is considering adding some to their coffers. So this is indeed the dawning of a new period. I love it. It seems like Florida is really based lately. I love every bit of it. I think I know where my
Everything that we've been talking about and
I
wanting.
gotta tell you, yeah, having lived some of this year in Florida, as you guys know, I'm living in North Carolina right now, and I lived in California part of it, so I've seen many different ways that states have handled COVID.
Don't use that word.
And I gotta say, Florida is very honey badger about the entire situation.
Yep.
Florida governor just don't give a fuck. So, yeah, it's also very helpful that Florida does not experience much by way of cold weather ordinarily.
Yep. Oh, Florida, I love it. If it's not for the swamps and the gators, I think I'd be there already. All right, let's see the next one here. We got another story here. Again, this is kind of all in the same vein. A publicly traded Green Pro plans a Bitcoin fund as large as $100 million. So again, another institution throwing its hat in the ring. Of course, this is what they build themselves as a business incubator, and they provide cross-border financial services for businesses. Well, they're thinking about expanding their portfolio to include a bit of a Bitcoin allocation. So the companies are lining up to acquire a bit of BTC on their books. And the third story, this I think is a Canadian firm, Mextech AR, planning to buy, well, just a modest $2 million in Bitcoin with their treasury reserves. So it seems to be, 2021 could shape up to be the year where
the year of the Bitcoin.
Everybody wants to diversify into Bitcoin, so certainly exciting times ahead. On the flip side, like today's thumbnail did kind of touch on, will the SEC attack on Ripple kind of spill over to other cryptos, right? Are there going to be other projects, other developments in their sites? Alex, you were talking about this in the morning in the office meeting.
There was I saw a tweet by someone who had helped break the story that Coinbase was going to be delisting XRP off of the exchange. And he said that the big news item that he's working on now is that it turns out that the SEC has been sniffing around a lot of different projects, and the SEC is actually knows more than they have been letting on, or just it's been more interested in the entire sphere and in prosecuting cases than until now. It sort of seemed like the SEC was kind of taking their sweet time. I think we would all agree. There's been plenty of scams, and the SEC is really sat on their hands. But
yeah, I think a regulatory call is coming. It's something I've been talking about and warning about for years. It's probably on the horizon. I think some of these projects that were early out the gate managed to decentralize successfully might be the ones that make it through this next period. And all the newcomers or any of the aspiring projects due to launch, ooh, they might be in trouble. Probably
Just like
why.
anything else. I mean, there's probably going to be a high failure rate.
Indeed, but again, it seems like there might be like a bit of a grace period where some projects will kind of grandfather in, other ones not so much. But now I think everyone begins to understand why so many of these DeFi projects that were trended, particularly in 2020, were headed up by anonymous development teams. It is very important, clearly, to not have Congress, have someone they can subpoena and drag in front of them to question, right? So I know a lot of people were fighting. And to be fair, this is probably justified because yes, DeFi had a lot of scams, a lot of rug pulls, and so forth. But there's still a lot of legit projects that get fudded because the developers choose to stay anonymous. So there's a bit of that. Okay. With that said, guys, I'm gonna quickly hop over to the live chat, say hello to everybody who's here this morning. Let's scroll up and see here. Crypto Caveman saying, "Spill the wisdom, boys. Hello to all, and big shout out to Justin Wise if you remember the bald guy." Indy, I think we do remember Justin.
Shout out to Justin.
Big shout outs to Justin.
Wherever you are, buddy.
Wherever you are, bud. Crypto Caveman, of course, being one of our channel supporters. So thank you, Mr. Caveman. Moving toward, got Dachi in here next. Mr. Ether Robert, always can be counted on to be here. I'm thinking about selling all my coins into Ethereum and Bitcoin. Indeed. So Mr. Ether is hitting the emergency eject button, ready to fly to safety, glide to safety.
Fly to relative safety.
Yeah, relative safety of Ethereum Bitcoin. Indeed. Another, of course, developing story, just to quickly get off track, is the talk that the big elephant in the room, that is USDT, the Tether, the iFinex, Bitfinex drama, is the government finally, realistically, XRPs are dropping the bucket compared to the shenanigans going on at Bitfinex.
Tether's already in the middle of a lawsuit with New York State, isn't it?
Exactly. And so, what will come of that? I've been reading quite a bit of FUD on the internet lately saying that, XRP is just the tip of the iceberg. Imagine what happens when Tether gets targeted or goes belly up. I don't think it's necessarily going to be apocalyptic as people are making it out to be, but certainly something to look out for. There's a lot more
stable coins these days than
exactly.
there used to be. I mean, I'll be like, okay, well, I'll just exchange my USDT for some DAI or from some USDC or some TUSD or, God forbid, Ample, but something that would reasonably, remain stable.
Precisely.
There's a lot of options on a lot of these exchanges.
But when I see Mr. Ether saying he's looking to sell and get into a bit of a safe haven, Ethereum, Bitcoin, USDT might not be on that list simply because, like I say, there's about a FUD surrounding USDT as being, having some regulatory action incoming, and indeed it's probably just going to compile with already the New York AG's case. But with that said, let's keep going. B-Flow says, you wouldn't dare. Okay, he's just talking to Mr. Ether, but shoutouts to B-Flow. David Rice is in here. Nice to see you in here, Mr. David Rice, bright and early. S. Hyatt is in here. GBU Professor Wally, as always. We got Marco.
I see, GBU Wally asks, what's a daily candle? Daily candle is something that you sign up for. You get one in the mail every day. They have really wonderful scents. Sometimes they're lilac, sometimes lavender. It's really wonderful.
Sugar cookies, my favorite.
Daily Candle Incorporated. Check it out.
All right on. GBU Professor Wally. Maybe Justin said once we hit 10k subs and 20k BTC, I'm taking off for Tahiti for 2 months. That could be it. But I guess he kind of beat us to it, or he kind of jumped the gun a little bit. But yes, indeed. Shoutouts to Wally. York, another channel supporter, is in here saying, "Hey everybody, hey Mr. York." B-Flow shouted out him. Oh, Daniel is in here. Hello to everyone, says Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Don Freeman, kind of a new name in the chat. Only thing to do in 2020 was stack sats. Indeed, I think the most diligent of us were stacking sats all season long, and it's nice that it worked out. Next. T-Dub is in here. Shoutouts to T-Dub. Chandri Sahab is in here. Whales game is over. Whales make more profit. Let's see here. Post a couple tickers he wants us to have a look at. Okay, Chandri, we'll take a look at that. finally, I see AJ in here, Ron Legato, Jasper, Nitsoki. Man, we have a lot of blue wrenches in the chat. Are all these people really mods? I mean, I might have to remove some mod statuses here, but okay, I'll do that later.
Wait, why? That's good. I think that means that we clearly have some really loyal viewers, and they're people that we all trust.
I mean, they were modded by Justin at some point, so I might have to review their mod status. But you know what? They're loyal. They're in here. They have yet to do anything funny, so
Yeah,
I guess...
exactly. The fact that we've never noticed that there's all these mods means that they never abuse their power.
Yeah, but also
I
tells
don't
me
give up.
some of them, like Jasper, hasn't been around in a while, and here he is with his mod status. So,
Maybe it's just got a different name. Maybe it could be someone we see all the time. Dude.
all right, no problem. I guess. I mean, they seem to be diligent moderators, not abusing their powers, so all is well.
Yet.
AJ's in here, like I think I said. Jasper, Ron Legato, Tyler Dukacek, Victor Fryer, Super Simmerman, Furry. Oh, Johnny's in here. Right on. Shoutouts to Johnny. And White on Rice is in here. It's a new one. And that about everybody. All right. Shoutouts to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everyone who joined us. Floyd is in here. Just came through with a message. And here we go. Yeah, see, this is the problem. Everybody's got a wrench except people like B-Flow, who is a regular, probably deserves to have a wrench too. But then we can't give out wrenches to everybody. So it's like I almost got to clear the table.
You gotta get off these wrenches, man.
And reassign the mods because now people...
Get these wrenches out of here.
Now people are going to feel left out and neglected. But I digress. Guys, that about covers it. Thank you to everybody who's joining us for today's Breaking Bitcoin episode. Let's not dally any longer and get into the let's get into the majors, the charts. Let the analysts do their thing. I'm going to switch scenes right now. And here we go. I have Alex and the Bitcoin USDT chart on screen. Alex.
Actually, the XBT USD chart from BitMEX, but roughly equivalent.
Roughly equivalent, yeah. Oh, okay. Alex, it's all yours. Take it away.
Pedantic.
And of course, everyone in live chat, one final reminder: I will be taking note of your requests. So during the course of the show, if you have any questions, any chart requests, I'll gather them up and we'll get to them a little later. So everybody enjoy the show. Be right back.
Okay. I think for right now, Bitcoin is bearish on lower time frames. Obviously we don't have enough movement in any direction to give us any sort of change on the higher time frames. Right now, as you can see, if we close the daily like this, we may finally get kind of a cross under right here, but this could, it's not firm here. We will need another day or two to confirm that. On lower time frames, we're below the 4-hour and the 3-hour baselines, as shown. That being said, we could still come back up, break up out of this, and retest this area. And none of this bearishness necessarily needs to interfere with the uptrend because we can always just come back down, retest some liquidity that we have down here. Right, currently we have 25,000, 24,000 completely unretested since we broke above it. And so ultimately, I'm not convinced yet that this bearishness that we do see on lower time frames is ending Bitcoin's run here because there's just no sign of that yet necessarily. On the 3-day, if we close a bearish 3-day candle, we'll get a cross under and a bearish divergence, but it's gonna be Friday before that closes out. Actually, it's going to be late Thursday, I think, before that closes out. So we're not going to really know for a few days here. So I think probably the best thing for us to do is we're already out of Bitcoin as a group. We're just going to sit and watch it. If we get another daily long signal, then we'll take that. But right now it looks like we're actually getting early take profit signal, which is fine because we're already out. And just kind of wait and see mode on Bitcoin for right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would even go so far as to say that, I mean, looking at the hourly, clearly it hasn't turned over. But if you go down into...
Yeah, sorry. Let me... Go ahead.
I do believe that in the 30-minute we are beginning to break up out of a little bull pennant here on the 30-minute with a little bit of confirmed bearish or bullish divergence.
I don't see the bullish divergence, but I do see. I mean, I do see the pennant that you're talking about here. I've got it drawn out too. Um,
You have to go from the hump of that little crossover on TT. That one, and then nope, and that one.
oh, I see. So you're drawn from this bottom to this bottom. So
Yeah, it's
from
type C.
here,
It's weaker, but it's still there.
yeah. Okay, no. I see. I see. Yeah, okay. I was really looking at this spot as the bottom, but that is also a turn here.
And
So
I
I count.
also have mine drawn just a tiny bit different. Jack, if you could just switch to my screen real quick and then back to his. It's just
Yeah.
I already have it drawn.
Sure, just give me 1 sec. Alright, switching now. And here we go. Got a lot of tabs open here. Jason, got you on screen. Don't forget your push to talk.
Yep, we have this old historical support here, and then we have it coming in. We have this trend line coming here. I think that this was a nice little break of trend coming back down here to test that as support now. And we are getting a reaction off the bottom here with the confirmed crossover on TT. So as for now, I am looking for this to have possible upside potential here, but it's kind of funny that we're kind of right in that time frame of like the hourly looks a little bearish, but the 30 minutes beginning to look a little bullish here. So, I mean, I really think that we could have a potential for upside just as much as downside here. So,
Yep, could go up or down, guys. That's what we think.
you heard it here first, folks. It's gonna go up and down, baby.
Mr. Ether says he sees 25k incoming. Very, very well could be the case.
I think I agree, but there's liquidity there. It's unretested, and I consider this bearish as long as we're underneath the 4-hour baseline. So we could still, come up and retest the bottom of it, maybe get a baseline bounce. But I still
Mhm.
think I'd like to see us come down.
And that's also like one of the case for the water strat, which has a super wide stop, but it's more for just picking these little movements. And we could absolutely get that little run to 27.4 and then not get out of any specific patterns and then still break to the downside. I mean that absolutely that would just be sideways.
Mm, it's fair enough. Ethereum on the daily so far is looking like a bullish retest of broken resistance. So whether you consider this channel resistance or you have if you were to have a
So
zoom out
close
here,
to your TP on that one, I think.
a seven, yeah, TP was at 740, so we brushed it. Let me use the Binance chart here. Let's
740.
see.
I thought it was 754
Maybe you're right. I don't have it in front of me. I was just trying to do off memory.
because I know it hit 740 for sure. Dot looks like it's pushing up right
Yeah.
now into all-time highs.
So this, as shown right here, we see resistance, we see support, and then a breakdown from it. Let's go over. And we see this resistance and support area just broken above and retested. We're holding above it currently. I consider this bullish for Ethereum. I think the fact that we keep making new highs on Ethereum alone should be like a very bullish sign. But if that's not enough for you, then let's see.
It's
We
like we're
broke it.
trading off with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like
Yeah,
last week and over the weekend, seemed like Bitcoin kept hitting higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, and Ethereum was just a laggard, man. And now all of a sudden, Ethereum's starting to take off, and we're getting a little sideways consolidation out of Bitcoin.
I agree. So yeah, we're holding this trend. It looked like we were starting to break down over the weekend, and then we just didn't. We recovered, and so I consider Ethereum to be more bullish than Bitcoin in this spot. This is slightly reflected on the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. We
Nice
can
price
zoom
absorption
back
on
out
that
a bit.
wick for sure.
Yeah. You see, we come back down and we retest the local market point of control. Boom, we wick through it, buy back up, wick through it again, bought back up. Here, here. Now we're back above this baseline. Not that one. This one. There we go. So this chart's a little busy at this point. We've been using it for so long. Let's start fresh. Let's get a sense of what Ethereum's relationship with Bitcoin could look like going forward. Okay, so right here we have top and bottom of trading range. Very nice here. Resistance, support, resistance, support. Okay, so we have support here. Okay, so this is essentially our 3-day downtrend right here. We can just get a break of this downtrend, then I think it's probably good to take up to the next resistance and support level, which we find here. See, resistance, support. We'll likely find resistance again here. So right around 0.052, essentially here.
Which is
0.05.
almost a 100% gain.
It's like almost literally a 100% gain from this spot. I think it's like 98, 95%, something like that.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, but of course we won't have good confirmation for a little while yet. So this is just kind of speculative right now. Why don't we take a look at Bitcoin dominance? We'll get a better sense of what's going on against alts. Bitcoin dominance is struggling against the high here at 70%. We were talking about this a little bit yesterday about how, for those of you who may not be fully aware of what Bitcoin dominance is, this is the percentage of the market cap that is made up of Bitcoin. So currently, 69.94% of all money in crypto is made up of Bitcoin, period. So on lower time frames in the daily, I guess here, we do have this break of trend, this really strong sell signal here, which we got here actually, and then sort of put in a bearish divergence, but it's barely a top. It's more like just we just kind of get less steep of a curve. So I still feel like alts may end up doing better over the next week or so, but this does not necessarily mean that Bitcoin is going to reverse in this spot and give alts time to catch up. Bitcoin may keep going. We mentioned at the beginning of the show that there's all these different institutions that are showing interest in getting into Bitcoin in the next year. That's not necessarily true for the alts, right? The mayor of Miami isn't talking about buying Ripple at 20 cents right now.
Well, if he is, he's probably fired.
Yeah, exactly. He won't hold his job very long. So if we were to be trading this is essentially like we would have a continuation. So we would have had a continuation signal, maybe right here, but just getting a pullback in Bitcoin market cap dominance here would not necessarily translate to a change in this trend. So this is a very strong trend out of here.
Yeah, corrections are going to be healthy in that situation. Look how far it's traveled already.
Yeah.
And I mean, we discussed this many different times, and we've seen it before as well. We could just go completely sideways here and then give everything an opportunity to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it certainly seems like money is not leaving the space. I mean, except for Ripple right now.
Yeah. Right now, the only basket of alts that is doing better than Bitcoin is exchange coin. So that's mostly made up of BNB. But there's also Leo, which is Bitfinex's coin. As you can see, Leo is kind of in the process of taking off. Yep. My heart will go on.
I'll never let
go.
go.
So Leo has a very, very strong weekly trend. Okay. Let me turn off our baseline because it's not helping us. You can see ever since December of last year, it's just kind of wandered upwards. Even
man, that even handled itself in March, huh?
Yeah, it had one down week, and then it just kept going.
Very impressive.
It's sort of impressive, but it hasn't had the gains that a lot of other cryptos did. Like from its lows, it's gained 69% off of its lows. Most other cryptos, they gain like 600%.
I get that, but that's us being greedy.
It's hard to. It feels like comparing apples to oranges, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
Just for me, if you look at pretty much across any market, like it took a dive in March.
Yeah.
So I just think that's impressive that it actually held.
There's Huobi token, which actually does not look super strong, but it is pumping. So if you want to draw this out, I suppose there's probably this downtrend right here. So that is a signal you could take. I would probably want to take it up into this area right here, this consolidation area, around 460. And then what else is exchange tokens? There's Huobi token, BNB, LEO, OKCoin. That's right, OKC. It's OKB, never mind. It's like a new high.
New all-time high.
Yep, it did make a new all-time high today.
I believe BNB did as well.
It may have. Let me double check. I know it hit $40, but didn't it have a higher price in 2017?
I believe it was 38, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's find out, guys. You may be right, buddy.
Yay!
High of 39,999 versus it's clearly someone front ran
no
$40.
No whammies.
30. I think it's 38.85. Let me zoom out a little bit more. Make sure I'm getting this.
Let's get in for a close up. Enhance.
Yeah, zoom in. Enhance. 39.59. We beat it by 40 cents.
Woo!
40 cents and
before the year's out.
And 0.48 cents. So 0.44. Yeah, anyway.
Speaking of which, look at DOT right now.
I don't know if I want to. Oh, there it goes. Yep, DOT made a new all-time high, and it looks like it's going to keep going. As we were saying earlier on, we closed this new high above our previous closes right here. and it looks like it's good to go.
Yep, that does.
If you're holding dot,
Nice
I would keep holding that. Well, is it really price discovery? There's an awful lot of price history we'll never see again because dot split their freaking coin. Even though these coins are basically infinitely divisible, they split their coin to manipulate the price, just like fucking Tesla. Anyway, I'm still, I guess it
sounds like you got a splinter there.
It sort of made sense for stocks, at least before you could get fractional stocks this year, but it makes no sense at all for crypto. It's pure marketing. It's purely marketing.
Mostly. I mean, look how well Justin Sun's done.
Well, I guess I digress. Why don't we take a brief break? I feel like I've done like a decent market overview here. What do our viewers want to talk about?
We got a few requests slotted in, although Dot was one of them. Let me see if I can pick out any interesting comments in here. Mostly chatter about the dot pumping. I should have bought my bag a while ago. Let's see here. ETH at 754. All eyes on ETH. I see a request for TRB, but maybe we're not getting into requests just yet. I see someone mentioning Hex has outperformed BTC most of the year. Yeah, I bet the Hex guys are celebrating. Hopefully they took profit at the right spot.
Yeah. I bet they enjoyed their big payday. How'd that work out? Tell me all about the Hex big payday.
It was to be expected. The price obviously tanked. Come time to cash out. But I guess.
And also, where all the staking showed up suddenly, didn't it? Out of nowhere. Most people didn't get big payday. You should look into it. It was Richard Hart fucked everyone again.
Really? Is that how it went?
Yeah.
All right.
Got him again. Got him coming and going.
Yeah, I'm a little dubious of Hex, but some people swear by it, and maybe there's something to it. I'd have to take a closer look. I have decided not to partake of Hex, but I think opportunity abounds, and this is a game of who can shill the hardest, who can push their coins the hardest, and who's got the strongest army. Hex has got a pretty good army behind it, so some of these narratives, some of these things do help pump your bags, even if they are dead end coins. With that said,
yes, I mean, I feel like it's like the argument that yes, the casino is corrupt, but it's the only game in town. I mean, sure, maybe Hex is pumped hard, but there's just no sign that it's anything other than a scam. It's just a big marketing-oriented scam. It's like, oh, look how, I don't necessarily want to rag on Herbalife or something like that, but you could point to a multi-level marketing or something, and look, such and such people made money off it. It's like, yeah, but most people lost money because it's a scam. That's my feeling on Hex. I'm sure some people have made money off of it, but I just look at the history of it. It's a scam. Come on.
All
right.
It's one scam among many in this space, and it's one where Richard Hart is quite forthcoming with the nature of this scam. So I think it's an honest.
It's not a scam if you're upfront about the scam.
Yeah. It's not a lie if you believe it.
Do not buy this, people.
Yep, it's headed back to all-time highs, says Mr. Ether. Indeed, Hex is still doing things, but I think a lot of people are basically just stacking their Hex, keeping it staked, and they just want to keep accumulating more Hex. So I'm not sure how many people are actually cashing out with profits, and how many are just keeping the ball rolling. But I don't want to dunk too hard on Hex. It seems like it's treated some people well, including Mr. Ether, so maybe there's something to it. Alex Bola says, ETGP keeps giving me 300% every week, and I'm not even close to cashing out, waiting for 1 cent USD until I cash out. Okay.
I would say take profit then, because I hear that story all the time. I'm waiting for this number.
Waiting for $1 Doge.
Keep waiting, bud.
Litecoin.
I know someone who's waiting for $1 Doge. He's a Dogeonaire. He was an early Dogecoin miner back when it was, like, obviously the difficulty was way different when it was just a meme coin. And he's like, yeah, I've got millions and millions of Doge, just waiting for it to hit $1. It's like, okay, buddy.
Well, I
See you
mean,
pretty
he's
here.
probably stoked during that TikTok thing.
I'm sure he was. You know, I never see him around the servers that I'm on anymore, or else I would have hit him up about it. Be like, you waiting, buddy?
How's that going?
Are you behind this?
How is your quality of life?
Speaking
Are
of
these
which,
your kids? You got them to make this video?
I think I got booted from that one server, right, Alex?
What for?
Probably
not hanging around.
Probably not hanging around as much. I know they want people to be hella active, so oh well. Next time.
Gotta massage your networking contacts. You gotta keep your ear to the ground in this game, buddy.
I know. That's very true. That's very true. Luckily, I've always got the bat phone to call up my dear friend Alex.
It's true. You all have the bat phone.
AJ asks, what makes it a scam, though? I think people don't like that origin address and how much I think Hex ends up spilling towards it.
I have a question. What does Hex do?
It makes fat gains, Alex.
It does, but basically...
And all I ever hear is that Hex is the coin designed to pump. What does Hex do? What's the product?
Lines Richard's pockets.
You know, it's that certificate of deposit concept on the blockchain, and realistically, it does. It's not a lot different than basically every other DeFi savings and loan kind of protocol. Well, maybe not loan part, but the savings part. I really don't think it's all that different, and yeah. Of course, there's that origin address, but you know, Richard Hurt says don't look in that direction. Don't
look behind the curtain, guys.
Yeah, he's making your bags pump, so that's all that matters. Don't why ask questions when I'm pumping your bags for you? Why? That's usually what Richard Hart will say. But I still like Richard Hart. I get it, and honestly, all respect to the man.
I mean, yeah, he's a criminal, but he's damn good at what he does, Alex.
Until we catch him breaking the law, he's just a smart man.
Yeah, you can't unlock early without a penalty. Yeah, there's a bit of a meta to it.
This is America. He stole his money from retail victims fair and square. It's
the same thing as Wi-Fi on a small scale, says Alex Bowler. 3-month Bitcoin should see the top of a Bollinger Band in January as previous all-time high, says Andrew. So Andrew's expecting a bit of a local top in January. See here, I see people talking about holding their dot, says Michael. Alex says he's waiting for 5-cent Doge. Oh god, I can never get that one right.
You used to say doggy. Like
I did. I'm all over the map.
Doge is an improvement. He's halfway there.
Yeah, I'm slowly getting up, working
you are
my
halfway
way up.
there. I'm surprised that you got your rhetoric to change from doggy to doji so quick.
Yeah, I'm drifting all over the map on the doggy front.
Privacy coins look like they're going to experience a pullback here, which is a shame. I was in XMR USDT for the group for the last few days. We had a pretty decent. We had a pretty decent continuation signal right here. Like, heck yeah, right? I think I actually took it right around here. So it was right after daily close here, right around here. And unfortunately, we're starting to get this pullback in this spot. I'm turning over in privacy coins on both the daily and the weekly are starting to get some sell signs, but of course the weekly is pretty far from closing. Daily, though, is giving us a very interesting bearish engulfing candle, so most likely we're going to get a little bit of continuation on this one candle right here. What other kind of requests do we have?
Well, I see one that just came in. Someone, Damien Hughes says Adam is heating up on the 30 minutes, so I guess that's
Oh.
Cosmos.
Adam looked pretty good yesterday.
It did. It was too far for me to take. It was just too overextended.
I didn't have enough momentum yesterday. We were underneath the dead zone for me.
Which I'm glad I didn't take because that pullback is.
Yeah. This looks like a healthy pullback to me today. It's
I
like
agree.
we kind of retested this point of control area. I'll probably take this long at the end of today. Where's my baseline?
Where my baseline at?
Yeah. Right now, this is a good looking long. Good out of Bitcoin.
Just trying to earn some 5% back on Cosmos.
Ooh, that is nice right here. I mean, I don't think I have to point out the break of trend to you in this spot. Let's turn off Rodrigo for a sec.
GB Professor Wally just came through with a $5 super chat. Shoutouts to GB Wally.
Thank you, my good man.
We love you.
He posted the phonetic pronunciation, or the phonetic spelling, I should say, of Doji. Doge. Yeah, he spelled Doge.
Doge.
What the hell was that?
He kind of sounded like Homestar Runner for a second.
Doge.
That's classic.
Sorry guys, I'm just trying to see if what the prevailing. I think this makes good sense for a channel. Do we have any kind of pitchfork here that we can use? Let's see. Doesn't feel right. Nope. You know, I feel like we could get a bearish retest of this area, and it would still be a nice trade. Because even if we just retest it up here, that's not a bad trade. We do have a bullish divergence in this spot right here on the daily. So lower low, higher low.
Trying to take my gains to the cosmos.
Yeah. It has potential. It's just we'll wait to see where things land on the USDT pair on the daily. What's next?
All right, shout outs to Damien Hughes for the Cosmos update. Let's move into the next one. This one comes from David Rice. He says he's been out for a while, but did we do ZIL BTC yet? No, we haven't taken a look at ZIL yet. Let's take a look at the ZIL markets, please.
Looks like we could have a pullback in this spot. Yeah, we got a pretty decent 12-hour bearish divergence as shown. Higher high, lower high, that's right here. It makes sense. This area is previously resistance. So resistance here, or support here, support here, support here. And now we're experiencing some resistance in this area. Yeah. Same bearish divergence. Same bearish divergence visible here. So any kind of broken lower time frame. Depending on how you want to look at it, it does appear that we've broken the more parabolic of the trends here. So you see we've got increasingly parabolic trends. This is an uptrend. This is an upper trend. This is an uppest trend.
Was that a bullish divergence on the 3-hour I saw though?
Let me see. Potentially.
Yeah, that for sure is.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be 2 hours before this closes. So
yeah, it's not confirmed yet, but
yeah, but that could be very nice if we do get this turn up. And I will say that sellers are getting a little weaker here.
Would make a lot of sense for the 30-minute bull pennant I'm looking at on Bitcoin, because if this were to actually continue up to the upside, you would assume that USD value would come with it.
Agreed. Okay, so for right now, there's nothing for us to do. We don't have any kind of continuation signal. So if you're just holding it, I would maybe have taken profit in this area, but that doesn't mean necessarily to exit. What's next?
Okay. Thanks, David Rice, for the Zill request. Moving into the next one. This one comes from Alex Baller, and Tron is great. Love the staking. So I saw a bit of chatter concerning Tron. Let's take a dive into Tron if we could, please.
I did put us into a USDT trade based off of it was a good signal, and I did like that news came out, but it is looking like so far it got hammered.
I mean, maybe it's finding a bottom in this spot, but if it is, it's like in the last hour of the last, I don't know, 12 weeks, 13 weeks.
Sure.
So I would hesitate to speculate that, oh yes, we have found a bottom right here. But I guess I agree that this hourly candle is big. There's not really much to say here on TRX Bitcoin. For right now, it's underperforming the market. And as far as the USDT pair, which Jason said, we had a nice signal.
Yeah, mine's a little earlier because I'm using the 13, not the 60.
Yeah, exactly. It uses a different EMA. So his system gave him a signal. He took it, and it didn't work out here.
I mean, it still might be a good trade. Have to wait for the daily. Could get a pullback all the way up to the 13. It appears to be pulling back up right now, but we just have to wait.
Maybe. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I wonder if I can get a baseline short bounce.
Yes,
short
swing failure. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
You gotta believe.
You gotta. What's next?
Alright, not too many requests in yet, but here's the next one. This one comes from a user by the name of Ultraism. Check UOS. UOS? You guys familiar with UOS?
I'm not.
Are you sure he doesn't mean EOS?
Maybe it means EOS,
No,
but I don't think so. Let's take a look at EOS.
Well, I can only assume you are.
Yeah, it's gotta be Ultra.
Yeah, with a name like Ultraism asking for the Ultra coin. All right, let's pump this man's bags for him today.
Ultra waste of time.
Let me. Well, right now I'll tell you we're below the daily baseline, so we're definitely not long in it. But let me turn off the baseline here, so that we can kind of zoom out here. Whoops. Whoops.
Twitchy in the, or sorry, 20 in the, alright, who's echoing a little bit? 20 in the live chat asks, hey guys, what's the green and red indicators on your chart?
Which green and red indicator?
Which green and red
Are you
indicator?
talking about the candlesticks?
Yeah, everything is green and red. This is a chart.
These are the custom candlesticks that we are selling.
Maybe he's talking about the
percent is
WADA.
going to be burning fiat.
He's probably talking about the WADA at the bottom, the indicator at the very bottom. That's, I guess, a form of a volume or of momentum volume indicator.
This is a momentum and volatility indicator. WADA ATAR explosion. The indicator is made up. First of all, the indicator is free for everybody to use on TradingView. Yep, this is one of our public ones. Just type in WADA, and you will see cracking cryptocurrency - WADA ATAR explosion. Be sure to star it so you can find us more easily. And essentially, the bars give you momentum. The explosion line, what you see here, gives you volatility because this is a reflection of the Bollinger Band. So when the explosion level is rising, Bollinger Band is expanding. When it's falling, Bollinger Band is contracting. And then you are essentially, WADA ATAR itself produces signals based on a ratio of the momentum to the Bollinger Band, which you can control with sensitivity right here. That controls the ratio between the two. It'll control the size of your momentum bars. And essentially, when your momentum bars crosses above a rising volatility level like this is a signal to go in that direction. So this is a short signal right here from WADA. So you would enter here, and you see we get follow through because there was enough momentum and volatility on this movement for WADA to signal. Meanwhile, our oscillator, which is very sensitive, had given our signal like way back over here. And depending on what system you're using, if you're using a PTP, you would wait for a cross of the baseline and then enough momentum and volatility while your oscillator is giving you the go-ahead to go ahead and take the trade, essentially. So that's sort of how we're using these indicators all together to accomplish trades.
Yeah, I think he clarified a little bit there. I think he was meaning the baseline and you just don't have it up.
Oh. Okay, well...
But that was a great review of WADA, so anyone who doesn't understand WADA, go back and listen to that.
Yeah, so baseline is a Hull 60 moving average. That's what we tend to move around here. It's green when we're above it, it's red when we're below it, and it's white when we're inside of it. That means no trade zone. Well, I guess it's grayed, but the line is white, so...
It gives us a directional bias.
Mm-hmm. We take longs above it, shorts below it. So, what's next?
All right, thank you for that request. Let me see here. What do we got? All right, we have to forget Ultra. You know what? Let me see what came in the last minute because we're kind of caught up.
Okay.
AJ.
Give us time to look at traditional markets.
Yeah, let's do that. Let me just see if there's anything here. I see AJ called it the Christmas chart. Yeah, that's one way of calling it. Or the Christmas indicator.
It is very holiday-esque. It looks almost like a candy cane right here. Look at that.
Indeed.
Because if you use it, you're going to get some gifts.
Or maybe some kind of gummy worm. It's very gummy worm-esque.
Yep, I'm kind of caught up on the request, so let's dive into some something that you feel like looking at, Alex.
Okay. First things first, what's the dollar doing? Yikes.
Dixie.
Alright, so the Dixie's down, which of course makes everything up because everything's biggest trading partner is always the dollar. So that must mean that the traditional markets are up. Usually that's what happens when the Dixie is down, but I haven't looked yet. So let's see. Markets are up. Okay.
This is how you back test your bias over the course of your trading career.
Right. I haven't looked yet. Well, we've almost got an initiation signal for a Nasdaq long here. We don't have enough momentum or volatility yet, but we are above the baseline. And we do have a nice little bottom above zero on our oscillator here. That's usually a good sign. Let's see, we had a gap up today. We've kind of traded downwards, but we're still up on the day for the NASDAQ. Dow, I imagine it's going to be weaker. It usually is. Dow is down today. Ooh, big rejection on the Dow here. I would definitely be looking for a short if we can find one on the Dow. Potential baseline bounce short. While we did make a new high today, we're still pushing up against this trending resistance level. We're still below the daily baseline. So even though we gapped up today to make a new all-time high on the Dow, I would actually consider today's price action to be bearish, especially because we closed below yesterday's candle. Look at that. Now that's a bullish engulfing candle, right? This is really bullishly engulfed. So that's something to look at for the Dow. SPY is also down. SPY is also below the daily baseline. Very interesting here. So really, NASDAQ is showing strength, but the rest of traditionals aren't. I mean, you can see that because not the small caps, which are down way more.
Did you look at the QQQ?
Yeah, that's what NASDAQ is. NASDAQ is. That was the one that was doing best. That's the first one.
Okay. Yeah, and that's funny because before it seemed like that was actually the one that was the most behind.
Yeah. Wow. So small caps here, hitting resistance, and putting in a really bearish candle. I would say that this riding the moving average like this and then breaking down below it. Got a momentum signal. We don't have a volatility signal yet, but I'd be cool with that. I would count this as as kind of a baseline bound continuation signal more than a primary signal, which would have come here, which we did get. We did get a primary signal in this spot, but we would have had to exit on an early exit signal right here. Very interesting, very interesting. What are bonds doing? What are
hopefully staying steady?
They're just kind of trading at resistance right now. It looks like it's like we're just kind of trading at the local market point of control. Let's zoom out here. I'm not sure. It feels like we might have broken above the point of control in this spot, but we're still bearishly postured as long as we're below or inside of the daily baseline as we are right now. Check out CFDs. Let's see. Financial companies also had a gap up today to make a new high, but then closed back down below resistance. This is bearish right here. This is like almost a classic baseline bounce trade right here. If we end up below this, I definitely want to take this trade, maybe even for a return down to this point of control. But at the very least, retest here.
That chart looks awfully a lot like the 30-minute of Ethereum USD.
Let's take a look.
It's where it.
What happened? Did we lose someone?
Right there where it kind of lifts up and then breaks. Basically, it's above the 60 hole, and then it basically moves sideways, and then that bearish divergence finally just cracks it.
What you mean right here?
Yeah, right there. I feel like it's listing slowly up, and then it's just going to break.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little harder to see, but you have to know what you're looking for. But yeah, I like that for a short for sure.
Okay. 20-year bonds, I think, or excuse me, 2-year notes, 2-year Treasury notes, I think look bearish in this spot. This is pretty strong resistance here, and this is held for several days. We're turned under right here. I consider us bearishly postured on 2-year notes.
And momentum's way waning off.
Yeah, momentum is just through the floor. So I don't know if any of you play bonds at all, but if you do, could take a short on the 2s. 10 years, been trading sideways for months now. Currently, nothing really to do in this spot. 5-year, bullishly postured. And we're above the daily baseline, so that's good. So, precious metals. So yeah, platinum starting to take off again. I think it might be time to long platinum on a weekly basis right here, especially if you can close the week up like this. Then overall, this looks like a very bullish just retest of resistance, turn support, and then continuation. We're not yet above the daily baseline, and we should get a nice confluence of making a new high, breaking above the daily baseline, and getting our oscillator above 0. If we can get all this to happen in the next couple of days, it should all work out for us with all our signals firing, and we can put up a platinum.
Definitely looks like it's starting to line up for it.
Yeah. So this is also something for us to keep our eyes on, but it's just not there yet for us to take. Maybe someone else's system is firing. Gold feels like it's trading at resistance. So it's got resistance to this consolidation area here. It's got trend resistance as shown here. I don't want to either long it or short it, although I will say the 12-hour looks rather bearish in this spot. Especially if we break below the 12-hour baseline here. It could just be a retest of the low, but either way, I just don't see it for gold right here. Silver doing a little better than gold. It's retesting the point of control up top right here. Let me finally remove this line. Get something a little bit more easier to see. Here we go. Okay. So we could just end up holding this trading range for a little while. We don't necessarily need to break up down through this area. So I don't see a trade on the table right now for ZAG. It's a shame that we got pushed out of this trade back here because this did end up working out swimmingly. Talked about gold, platinum, palladium. Okay, good. Brent crude, bearish here. We've crossed back below the daily baseline, and we've got like a nice little bearish baseline bounce. It's looked like it's starting to form. If we can, I would love to see some volatility step in, or just a little bit more confluence. We're not even below 0 on our oscillator yet, but if we can get just a little bit more, then I think there could be a good short on the table for Brent crude. Or Brent crude, as we like to say around here.
Brentley,
yep. Soybeans, oh my gosh, still through the roof.
They just can't stop going, soybeans.
Yeah, I would even buy soybeans today. They just look like it's going parabolic right now.
What is the news in soy? Are we all switching to soy milk or some shit?
No, the news was that all the soy crops were devastated earlier this year.
Oh, yes. I should know that considering I live in Iowa.
Yes. Like, your state was devastated.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Derecho.
Yep, sugar. Yeah, it looks like commodities are having a big day, guys. It's okay.
You know that derecho was planned, right?
Of course it was. Deep state.
Deep state getting with God and just blowing on us.
Aussie dollar, excuse me, this is not the Aussie dollar. This is the Aussie 200. This feels potentially like an exit pump. This could be a lot of distribution right here. I'm not super interested in this. China A50 making new highs today, just like we are. More bullish though. They're above the baseline. We don't have a buy signal right here, but it's almost there. Euro, this looks pretty ugly. As you can see, we're kind of trapped below support turned resistance in this spot. We're below the daily baseline, so I'm not super interested in this right here. France doing the same thing. Hanging out.
I would watch that one. That pattern looks stronger than I think it would seem.
Mm. The weekly is stronger. I'd like this retest the local point of control on the weekly.
That looks interesting to me.
Has potential. Hong Kong looking very similar. India 50, unstoppable, just continuing onwards. If you're in, don't get out. Just
India partnering up with soybeans.
Yep. Japan, new all-time high yesterday. Nope, today. And no, we do not have a signal yet. We don't have enough momentum. Netherlands below the daily baseline.
Don't you love to see everything doing better than the U.S. dollar?
Why don't we swing to the community for a sec, and then we can look at Forex.
Absolutely. All right. One of the next things I'm sure we might. Did we look at XRP today? Maybe another look, seeing that the 40% bounce is something to marvel at. I suppose it's the talk of the town at the moment. Hold on. Before we go any further, Nitin Soki asks something relevant to your odd USD, your Aussie dollar to USD. Should he? Would you suggest selling Aussie USD?
Nope.
Nope, actually looks alright to me. Doesn't look like quite a sell signal yet. It looks alright. So, Nitsoki.
Yeah, I don't see anything, man.
Hopefully that covers it. But let's continue. We were gonna maybe look at XRP real quick.
Yeah. So earlier today, XRP was down around. It was 18 cents, I think. We've had a decent amount of buyback today. As B-Flow pointed out in the chat, you can't really call it a pump when the daily candle is still red, but it's a really nice buyback.
That made me giggle, B-Flow.
So yeah, I think this is like 40% or 30% off of the bottom right here. This is
sell it, walk away, do it again when it dumps.
So yeah, if you guys manage to buy the exact bottom, then congratulations. You gotta let me in on your secrets, BT Dubs.
Yeah, give me your guy.
Yeah, who's your guy? What else we got?
I can't believe it's already been an hour and 15 minutes. Time really flies. Let's see here. GB Wally says, I also remember you mentioned NEO, but unsure if you analyzed the NEO USDT. No, on C-Pro.
We haven't looked at NEO in quite some time.
What does he mean by C-Pro? What platform is C? Oh, Coinbase Pro. Never mind. That just came to my mind. Let's look at NEO USDT.
Don't quite have a... Not above zero on our oscillator. We don't have enough volatility. But it's starting to shape up. Let's look at the Bitcoin pairing. This could technically still be bearish, but it does feel like the downtrend stride is starting to break. Yeah, this feels right to me. So yeah, this is held pretty strongly for about a month now. And when you look at this with the higher low right here, you got to ask yourself, do I think this is going to make even more lows in this spot? Probably not, actually, because we went into liquidity right here. We retest it, and then we make a higher low. Very interesting swing failure pattern on our on the downtrend here. I think Neo Bitcoin has potential in this spot. As a matter of fact, you could say that there's a continuation long on the table here. But you want to wait for the actual breakout, which can happen. I guess that's all I got to say.
All right, that's Neo for you. Let me see what else we have. Kind of a slow day as far as the requests are concerned, but let me see if anything else has been posted to the chat.
Maybe that just means all our little birds are happy for once. Are our little birds fed? Are you all snug in your little alt trades?
GB Wally a little upset. We every time he asks for Neo USD on Coinbase, we look at Neo USDT on Binance instead.
I'm sorry.
I guess I should have been more diligent. Oh my god, the cat just stepped on my keyboard. Alright, hopefully it didn't mess up the stream too bad.
It messed it all up.
Yeah, it kind of broke my stream right now, bastards.
Well, actually, these charts do look pretty different. No, they don't. Never mind. They're exactly the same.
Yeah, he almost gave him hope. Like I told you. Oh,
no. Yeah, everything I just said
pretty much identical.
is still true, basically. Yeah. So. That being said, I will note that if you look at it from this angle,
if you tilt your head a little to the side,
yeah. Look at it this way. Totally come down and retest this area. Look at this nice baseline bounce short setup right here on the weekly. If you look at it on the weekly, I don't like this spot. And WADA is telling us that momentum is increasing too. We just got a weekly sell signal last week.
Can't help but oh my god. Alright, my apologies to Wally. Unfortunately, I think we let him down again.
What?
He asked for Coinbase Pro. We ended up looking at Bitfinex, so we just can't seem to get that right. And I feel bad because
it's not on here, dude. Do you see Coinbase Pro? There's no Coinbase Pro here for Neo USD on trading.
Just type in Neo.
I don't know why.
Just see here. Is there? Let me confirm this. Is he trolling us? Is that what's happening here? No, GB Wall is better than that. Let me see here. But I'm not seeing that come up either. I'm scanning right now.
Yeah, dude.
Scanning.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what you want from me.
I think we're getting trolled. I don't know what to make of it. Binance doesn't allow U.S. Bitfinex doesn't allow U.S. customers. Coinbase Pro. What are
Neo? Is Neo even on Coinbase?
I was kind of shocked to even hear that it was, to be honest. But if Wally insists, I want to take him at his word. But
Neo is not supported by Coinbase.
Yeah,
okay, so that solves that.
Okay, Wally, I think you had.
I don't know what you're trying to pull here, Wally.
Had a bit of a laugh at our
Someone
expense
take the
today.
eggnog from Wally.
It's a good thing I like Wally
Sir,
so much.
This is a Wendy's.
Give me your keys.
Where is it? I left like I was getting trolled since you did everything but the request. Okay. Not sure what to make of it, but GB Wally's a good guy, so we're going to let it pass this one time. Otherwise, I would have put him in timeout. But all those super chats have bought him a lot of grace in this channel.
Yeah.
So shout out to Gumbot University. They do good work over there. Ruben Santos asked, have we talked about Cardano yet? He had to leave for a bit.
I talked about it a little bit, but we didn't actually look at the chart.
All right, let me put that up then.
Nice daily
It
buyback.
feels like right now we're trapped between resistance and support. So we got very strong support down here at roughly 650 cents. So this area right here, well, 600 sats, I guess. And then we have this area of support and resistance above us that we've been watching, which was one of my buy zones. We had a nice consolidation in this range right here. Low, bounce out, came back down, retest the area, and now we're coming up. So overall, we will probably have a signal to long A to Bitcoin in the next day or so. WADA's already almost there. Our oscillator just has to cross 0. We have to be above the baseline. And then as far as ADA USDT, we had the signal yesterday. I couldn't put it up in time. Price was moving too fast. But we may still, maybe we'll enter again today if price is not moving so quickly that it looks like our members aren't going to be able to get in. We may be a little beyond the qualifying line, but everything else looks so good that I hate to let the trade get away from us. I mean, just look at it.
Attaboy. I'm hearing that Sell BTC is the trade of the year.
Celsius?
CEL, yep.
Wow. Look at it go. It's still going.
Do the opposite of Sell.
Yeah. I look to keep going too. This is a green candle I probably would not mind buying. I mean, it sucks to be in here and not here, but this is a nice amount of momentum. It's hard to complain.
I've just been burned too many times on things like that in the past.
Yeah.
I don't mess with it anymore.
Yeah. What's next?
All right, thank you to Ruben Santos for the ADA request. I do have, guess who just came through? I was surprised. We haven't seen Philly Carr in a while. Mr. Philip Carr, hailing from the British Isles here. He came through with a £20 British sterling super chat. He didn't attach a message to it, but he did drop us a nice £20 sterling into the...
I feel the love, Philly.
Indeed. So shout outs to Philly Carr. I think you missed our commodities section, the one they're usually very eager to look at. Then again, maybe Alex looked at 3 commodities charts and it did have Philly appear. But yes, thank you, Mr. Philly, for the super chat. Maybe that's how we
summoned him.
Exactly, we summoned him.
That's commodities in a while. Philly hasn't been around a while.
Exactly. That's exactly how I was feeling. All right, so we looked at Celsius Network just now, did we not? Or was that Cardano? Yep. Did we look at Celsius a second ago? Just to be sure.
We're still looking.
Sure did.
Okay. Here we go. I have to go back a little bit. Sorry to Mr. Ether. I almost forgot to do this one. I missed it on my list. This one's TRBUSDT.
Oh, okay.
Every time I see a ticker, I think of the TR3B.
Looks pretty ugly. This looks less bad here. Here, let's open up ChartX and look at the real history. I would say this looks pretty rough. I almost feel like we're slowly crawling below support to fall more. This reminds me a lot of band and link charts.
Is TRB an origin protocol?
An Oracle, yeah.
Oracle, sorry.
Yep, very similar charts, guys. Same with Link. Actually, I think Link had it a little bit worse. Sorry. Yeah, I think these are really bearish, guys. I expect us to come back down in this area still. I don't think the worst is over for Link in this spot. I know a lot of people who picked up Link right in this spot, but we could still fall a little bit more down to this area right here, which is 30,000 sats, 300,000 sats, something like that.
All right, I see some cute chatter here regarding Celsius. Philly Car says there's a Fahrenheit coin now. Midwest says it's currently at negative 273. And then GB Wally says, I heard his assets got frozen. Haha.
Wow.
Those are good science jokes, guys.
Those are pretty good. Philly Carr also came in here to say Alex picked up my commodities DMs from earlier. I can wager to say he probably didn't, but he did. Did he ask if we picked any nice commodities? Was there, because he did miss that section? You remember anything off the top of your head, Alex, on the commodity front that looked good to you? Philly asks.
Yeah, oil looks like it might be a short. That was like the trade that looked like there might be something coming up real soon. And platinum is gearing up for a long, but we're not above the daily baseline yet.
Yep. Well, on your overview, those were the two of note.
Yeah. Those are the big ones. Everything else. Oh, and soybeans are about to go parabolic or are going parabolic today.
Or continuing to be.
Yeah, I guess maybe continuing to be parabolic.
I see GB Wally came in here with a comment saying, do you guys ever do two coins on the same chart via compare so you can actually compare? I don't trust my memory or confirmation bias when switching between charts or coins. Yeah, Alex, you trust your...
Sometimes. The problem is screen real estate. Whenever there's coins that we have to compare, I'll pull them out side by side, but it's pretty rare that we need to compare stuff that closely.
Yeah, I agree.
Perhaps in this case, I mean, if you want, we can look at TRB and or ban.
I don't know if that's entirely necessary, but you know, maybe something to consider. But I get the impression Alex is pretty accurate when he flips between the two charts.
It's kind of one of the
brain.
things that I like because it keeps my brain stirring a little bit, and I like that. I can pick up on pattern recognition and stuff like that, so it kind of keeps me on my toes a little bit. I don't usually do split screen myself. I usually just try to think about what it relates to.
Yeah, Wook Chewy says just overlay one on the top of the other if you're concerned about screen real estate. And he says, GB Wally says, I mean overlay, add a symbol. Yeah, just some of the guys thinking about having you overlay charts. Just a little bit of input for Alex to consider for the future, just to maybe help, even if it works for you, Alex, maybe to help for the visualization for the people watching along. Just a little, you know, a tip, I guess, or a little bit of a request. Alex's choice. Yeah, Jibby Wallace says definitely not side by side. Has a confirmation bias problem. Yeah, so these guys are insisting we overlay charts for certain analyses.
Yeah, and I was gonna bring that up as well.
I've never found this to be super helpful to me.
Yeah, to me, looking for correlations between coins and stuff like that.
Yeah, because then you got to do this. Like, what exact date range are we talking about? It's like, okay, well, when you look here, it gained more here, but then now it's trading with parity at this. It's like, well, if we start here, it's okay, now we need to do this. I do not find this to be a helpful feature. This has never given me... Here's the thing. A lot of times when I use features and stuff like that, it will look really cool, and I feel like it's telling me something, but then when I look at it for actual usable trading information, what is this chart, you know, really tell me, except that at certain points, Band has been more volatile than Link. I mean, visually, yeah, they sort of go along together like this. And maybe if we make this a line chart, that will help it be more visually similar. But because of the impossibility of getting these two things to overlay exactly correctly, I just, what am I really getting out of this right now?
And honestly, it's
What are you guys getting out of
yeah, it's too subjective in my opinion, because when you go back and look for things, you often get confirmation bias and then look for it to copy a movement of something else. But when you go back and back test that, it's very difficult because it starts becoming so subjective. You don't even really have any rules. You're like, well, if this does this, then this has to do this. It becomes a really bad strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Wook Chewy says, I like Willy Woo's chart. He has 200 coins on it at once.
That's gotta look hilarious.
Willy Woo! Going to the moon, boys. Shoutouts to Willy Woo, I guess.
Woo!
Woo!
Willy.
Gotta shout out that Willy Woo, like you mean it.
Never seen him.
Right, so we looked at TR3B for Mr. Ether. Is there anything else I missed? We did Zills. We did the dots. We did the Cosmoses. More Zillies. More Zillies. Tronsies. The Ultra Z's, we done those. The Neoses. The Adas.
Look at that 1-inch
The
bust.
Chellies. Alright, they're all done, boys. Any other requests? Please jam them in the chat now, guys. If not, we're gonna slowly wind the show down.
Why don't we pop back over to Bitcoin on lower time frames since we're getting a little bit of movement out of it? Oh yeah, 1 inch is looking garbage.
Yeah.
Someone come save 1 inch.
Well, if you sold it on day one, well, that's probably what all this is. But sellers are kind of starting to peter out. There's going to come a point where everybody who got the airdrop has sold. And then at that point, I think 1 inch could have like a nice relief rally. That's what I'd be looking for. Until we get a break of this downtrend. I mean, it could just, keep going. So.
Oh, yeah.
And keep your eyes on it. What's next?
I think that's it for requests, but why don't we take a look at Bitcoin on lower time frames?
Okay.
Starting to get a little bit of action out of it.
That we are. This candle is starting to look like a nice little recovery. If we close the day like that, then that will be pretty interesting. Let me turn off band here.
You have band on there?
Yeah.
Every time band has done this, Bitcoin's done this.
Every time. Historically speaking.
See, this, like, looking at the 3 hour here, this leads me to believe that we might, like, if we don't get continuation, we might at least get that baseline bounce.
We could at least get the baseline bounce. Retest this high one more time before we come down.
Yep.
Ethereum doing a little nicer than Bitcoin here. Ethereum, Bitcoin looking fairly strong. Right now, it's looking like Ethereum is the better bet than Bitcoin.
Yes, it does. That looks very strong.
Yeah, but Bitcoin doesn't necessarily look weak here either.
It's kind of neither right now. It hasn't shown its face, like, because it's just consolidating in that pattern.
Yeah.
But 30 minutes and now going into the hourly, I do believe we're building the bullish case for an assault, at least on the higher range.
Let's see. Let's see if there's anything interesting out here right now. Let's look through the tether pairs. I'm going to turn off the baseline, and we're just going to see what catches our eye, because a lot of these
cruise.
Yeah, we're going to cruise. We're going to go cruising, guys. I don't think that means what you think it means.
Something
rough.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is rough. This looks really bad. It's like we keep retesting this baseline. This still looks like distribution. If we had closed up here, that would be good, but we didn't. We closed back down here. I expect a retest of maybe $2.50, $2.25. We talked about this. BCH could just be a bullish retest. We will see. USD, very nice recovery here. Dash, this looks really rough. Kind of distribution like. Break of this trend, and we did not hold it. So we tried to close back into the trend, and we got rejected here. So I think that's rough. Oh, this direction I was going. XMR, we talked about this one earlier. Kind of rough looking. Zcash, or excuse me, Litecoin. Interestingly, we assaulted resistance for 4 days here, and then finally we're starting to turn. So we may have a small time reversal, at least on Litecoin here.
Zcash was actually a signal for me yesterday, but there was better looking ones out there, but I did not take it.
I think when you look at this on the weekly, this is still really rough looking. We've got all this volume up here that we've dumped into. Now we're starting to break down. So we could come back here and retest $30, $33, kind of this this consolidation area right down here. BNB still looking pretty good. We talked about that earlier. Neo USDT, not so hot. We talked about that earlier. Nothing really to do here on etc. Link is almost ready to short again. So we got pushed out of our Link short with this cross up right here. But now we're getting potentially another baseline bounce short right here. I would love to take this down to like $8. We can handle it. FTT still going. EOS, Tezos, these both look really rough. Atom, we talked about this earlier, could be a daily signal at the end of today. Atom, still pretty rough in this spot. This looks very similar to ZEC. Waves, potential reversal in this spot. We're finally breaking the downtrend as shown. I almost put this up as a trade last night. It was going to be a discretionary reversal long, but I'm still trying to. I just want to make sure this month is all done under the PTP banner. You know, this is my first month doing the CC official signals without Justin to bounce ideas off of and stuff. So
you have me.
I know I do have you, but previously I was used to relying on Justin a lot. I think we all were.
I feel like my shoulders can take it.
Yeah. So I didn't want to put up any discretionary stuff.
I think that's the right move anyways, man, because how many times in your trading career has it been, I'm going to hold to this, and then as soon as you switch to something else, like it's so hard to track what you're doing wrong at that point. That's
true. Yeah. So nonetheless, I think this could be good to even come up and retest $8 at least right in this spot, if not for a full continuation. Weekly is not necessarily bad. There's been a nice little reset here. If the weekly continued onwards, well, that would be fair.
Well, that would be just fine.
Kava, nothing much to do here right now. Ontology. This looks like this could be a short again soon. Kind of trapped below resistance. Tomo looked like it had recovered over this trend, but now we're breaking back down. We could come down and retest 20 cents here. Wow, that'd be a lot. Maybe 35 cents makes more sense. Let's skip around and see what the big winners are today, because right now most things are just like, oh, this is gonna be a short, oh, this is gonna be short, oh, this is gonna be short. Engine, this looks like a short. Block stacks.
Check out Crypto Bubbles. Probably give you a good insight.
We could. Let's look through my list. Never had a chance here on block stacks to take this trade. We just we pumped too hard and we didn't have momentum in this spot. See, off the bottom a little bit. This is not something I'm super interested in. This is mostly traded sideways for the majority of its existence.
Hey, I was away for a couple minutes. I did see that one request came through here for Litecoin. Did we do Litecoin while I was gone?
I think I did, actually.
We looked at it for a second at least.
I see GB Wally and a guy by the name of Silent requesting Litecoin USD. If we could take a quick look at that if we haven't already.
Right now it's just we banged on resistance for a few days here, and now we're kind of turning around. I think we could get a little bit of a continuation to the downside right here. But either way, right now there's no long for us to take in the spot. Okay, well, this looks like a very excellent signal on Ren here. I think we have a break of trend.
Just waiting for Stimpy Coin to come out.
This feels pretty good right here. Now, the week isn't anywhere close to closing. But whichever time frame you look at, I mean, we've got good volume right here. We've got very visible break of trend. I like this. This has potential. What the heck is ARPA? Never had a chance to grab that. Cheese just keeps going.
Cheese.
This is it's all-time high for cheese. So if I had known this was the all-time high over here, maybe I would have taken this on the break right here. But it was really hard to catch this one. It just kind of kept going up without a significant pullback. V-Chain going strong today. And Coco is testing its bottom.
Poo-poo.
Yeah. Well, I think at this point I'm ready to call it.
Me too. But I do have one final request that just came across the line, and this is it. And it's Mr. Ether saying, "How's NRG looking lately?" Final one, and that's it, guys. We move to wrap.
Looks like dog crap. New all-time low today. Yep. Oh, and what's this? Fun maybe pumping.
Shout outs to David Rice.
Yeah. Potentially, I guess.
Got to have some fun.
We
Actually, it was really close for a signal for me yesterday, so I'm betting it is today.
I still have a little bit of ways to go. Potentially. I would still be cautious.
Indeed, Mr. Ether, NRG is dead. Mr. Ether says, holy shit, NRG is dead. Yeah, don't look too pretty. But guys, what more can there to be said? Alex, I'll let you close your thoughts on fun, if you have anything else to say.
It doesn't look that fun to me. I'm not interested in that for all.
Alright, a user by the name of 20 in the live chat. Haven't seen 20 before, but shoutouts to 20. They ask, is this lawsuit versus Ripple, is it going to affect the bull run?
Not the Bitcoin run, but certainly the XRP run.
I'll tell you what, if the SEC starts leveling it against many different projects, then that will create a lot of chaos in the scene. People won't know what projects are or aren't going to get accused of being securities, and people will start to just like sell out until there's some more certainty in the market again. Because if whatever you're trading could suddenly be sued and delisted within the span of a month, like is happening to XRP, well then you're just going to get out of the arena for a while. Or at least I think I would, right? You'd have to.
Yeah, I agree. If there's some kind of regulatory spillover that starts affecting the wider market, could very well bring a cold chill through the space that puts a damper on the bull market. But you know what? I somehow don't see this bull run getting ended too early. I still think there's a lot more to come.
I don't think the government is ready to kill the goose, lay the golden egg. I think people still know there's a lot of money for.
That's why it's important to have
financial institutes to do the crypto, Bitcoin, blockchain stuff and things.
Yeah, it's one of the important reasons to me, like why it's always important to have a little bit on the side at least, because with these things are going to come massive volatility and probably going to be some great buying moments, especially if you're looking to just DCA into spot. So like I'm going to be definitely looking for those moments for Bitcoin for sure.
Yep, you heard it here, folks. Buy those dips. The FUD and the blood is just here to give you buying opportunities. Might be
just all about perspective. You can't think about getting rich quick. Think about it over the course of a couple of years.
XRP 23 cents and counting, I see, and Bitcoin popping up a little bit, doing another run at 27 in the works right now, 26,878, and the candle seems to be, the green candle seems to be growing on the 3-minute. Yeah, 26.9 about to be attacked, and up we go. Alright guys, it's been 2 hours, well, yeah, just under 2 hours. It's been a good show. Shoutouts to everybody who joined us for today's Breaking Bitcoin Market update.
Yeah, thank you guys.
We did it!
Alright, so tomorrow makes it Wednesday the 30th, and Christmas Eve will be Thursday the 31st.
New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, what did I say?
Christmas.
Jeez. Yeah, so New Year's Eve will land on a Thursday. I presume the two of you boys will be around to do a market update for New Year's Eve?
I don't have anybody who's taking me out on New Year's Eve.
Alright. So, we'll likely...
got no dates.
We'll likely do...
you guys are our date.
We'll do our update come Thursday afternoon. I'm not so sure about New Year's Eve, or sorry, New Year's Day. That might be a different matter altogether. But indeed, we're going to play it by ear. And of course, we will be back in the new year doing big things. I think we've got some cool things on the horizon coming to Kraken Crypto, including something that Johnny, who was in the chat right at the beginning of the show, mentioned that I didn't cover. Johnny said, stay tuned guys, there's some very cool developments coming to the community.
Johnny's been working hard in the background.
Yeah, Johnny's building some seriously cool tech. It might very well totally change the game here at Kraken Crypto.
About to meet Optimus Prime.
Yeah, we got some secret stuff brewing in the lab. We have our top cooks coming up with a batch right now. We got literally the Walter White of development.
Crypto bitch.
Yeah.
Ooh, who's the Jesse around here? I guess that'll be Jason.
I have to be him now.
Yep, totally. Kind of nailed that one. But yeah,
Jack is Hank Schrader. It's Uncle Hank.
think I'm Uncle Hank. No,
I
I consider
apologize for your future.
I consider myself more of a Guzman.
Oh, really?
There you go.
Los Polos, gentlemen.
Yeah, the Polos Locos.
I think it's. I believe the
right.
L's are silent.
Is it? Okay, well, I'm not that well versed in the Spanish language, but maybe we'll do a bit of a brief lesson later this week. David Rice, do a stream for New Year's night, he says. Absolutely. Well, we'll see. I probably won't be able to, so maybe not. But it'll definitely be a New Year's Eve pre warm up. So, have your drinks ready. But I guess might be a little too early. Might be too early for the North American crowd. But our UK homies can join in and pop bottles as we're doing our afternoon stream. All right.
For our members who are watching, tomorrow's mentorship is not the book club. The book club is next week. Next week are chapters 3 and 4 of Jesse Stein's Insider Buy Superstocks. So just have that read for next week. For tomorrow, just have whatever trading questions you have that did not get answered this past week, or that were just kind of too big to just ask in the membership lounge, and we'll help you guys out. Okay, so tomorrow premium members have the group membership, group mentorship.
All right,
just
that's
real
it.
Quick on that the book club. How did that go last Wednesday? My phone kept cutting out while I was driving, so it kept dropping me from the go-to meeting.
It went well. There were it was a little bit more sparsely populated than I was expecting for the first meeting, but I also remember it's like the day before Christmas.
Yeah, it was right before Christmas.
Yeah,
we just got to keep hounding them.
Well, I put up the transcript. I thought the conversation went really well, and I'm really looking forward to the other weeks. Next week's is essentially chapters 3 and 4 are basically about how the financial news media sucks and about how they always get everything wrong. And we'll probably look at that and look at the CNBC Bitcoin effect and things like that in relation to it.
All right. Last words to David Rice and Philly in the chat. David Rice says, drinks and joints on me. Cheers to David Rice. And Philly says, watch the Amazon film on Maradona over the holidays. He's passed this year, and it's an incredible life story. Yeah, I heard good things about that Maradona documentary on Amazon. Definitely check that out, guys. Sorry?
Who's Maradona?
Famous football or soccer player, as you guys call it.
That explains why I don't know it.
Yeah, footballer, big time footballer. But
you look like you would be a big time soccer player, Alex.
I know, don't I?
Yeah, you were.
It's because I'm so messy.
Ooh.
All right, guys, that's it. We got to move to wrap. I got things to do. We got to dip. Much love to everyone who joined us today. You know who you all are. Can't shout you all out every day, but we love you from the deepest part of my heart. I really do. Thank you to our audience. Thank you to everybody who joins us. Thank you everybody who hits the like button. Gotta go to the exit now. Last words
Trade
to our
safely, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Trade safely, guys.